This changes everything for the New York Giants as they get ready to take on the Dallas Cowboys in NFL Week 2. Before we dive into that, as well as the New York Giants making 2 roster moves, which we will talk about on the tail end of today's show, if you want to beat the Dallas Cowboys this Sunday and celebrate Victory Monday, hit that thumbs up icon right now. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and my name is Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rolling by as we react to the news of the day that surrounds the Dallas Cowboys. Their star cornerback, Daron Bland, did not practice on Wednesday. He was seen in a walking boot. He did not practice on Thursday. And what I was told is he is not expected to play against the New York Giants. Adam Schefter saying that Daron Bland could be out for a couple of weeks due to a right foot injury that he suffered in Monday's practice for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's start with this. I'm not up here celebrating an injury. At this point, I'm upset that he's not playing because I want to beat the Dallas Cowboys at their best. But this is an injury that is a major hit to them. They are very inexperienced in the cornerback depth chart, and the Giants have to find a way to take advantage of this. If the Giants are going to win this football game, they got to find a way to score points. And without Daron Bland, as well as essentially Micah Parsons not playing, this is an opportunity for the Giants to take advantage. I wanted to show my guy Tom Downey of the Dallas Cowboys report and his reaction of the news because I thought he did a really good job of breaking down the information. So let's go to Tom and see what he had to say.
Let's go to the troubling update here on Daron Bland. He did not practice today with a foot injury, and making matters worse, per Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, he was spotted in a walking boots in the facility, which just raises up all of the red flags for me, especially since Bland had a foot injury last year. This is a bad sign for the Cowboys. I'm sure we will know more probably by Thursday afternoon at the Brian Schottenheimer press conference, but to go in a walking boot is never a good thing. We can spin the precautionary hopes all we want. I don't like that update. I hope that Daron Bland is okay because the reality is this Dallas Cowboys defense needs him pretty badly. They literally just paid him. It would be a horrible outcome for the Cowboys if Bland goes down with some injury right after getting paid. When you finally get healthy with Trevon Diggs, then your other corner goes down because somehow you're just cursed, it feels like, for this Dallas Cowboys team. Daron Bland played really good football against Philadelphia Eagles. Targeted just twice. 2 catches, 11 yards. One of them went for a first down. By the way, the guy who caught both catches against Daron Bland, it was just Saquon Barkley. He didn't allow a single catch to a receiver in that game. If you don't have Bland, which again is an if for now, and I hope things don't change for the better, I should say. Trevon Diggs, Kyer Elam are obviously your starting corners. You don't have Kalen Carson available. You don't have Savone Revel available. Your other options are Triquez Bridges and Reddy Stewart, who was a nickel corner. You play Diggs and him on the outside. You need a new nickel. Bridges is not a nickel. Your options are Stewart. I would wager that you call up from the practice squad for this game if it end up not having Daron Bland. I would wager Zion Childress gets the game day call up. And either way, you're starting a former undrafted free agent at nickel with a Giants team that I'm sure will use 11 personnel, although there are some injury notes to get into on that front. But we'll see about the cornerback room. Definitely worth monitoring and, yeah, pretty concerning as well.
All righty. So Tom obviously concerned about the injury, and as he should be. That Dallas Cowboys depth chart at the cornerback spot, it is not deep. It is not experienced, and it's not really all that talented outside of Trevon Diggs. And what I would do if I was Brian Dable and I was Mike Kafka is I would find a way to put Malik Nabers in advantageous situations. I am moving him all over the football field with a focus to play him in the slot a little bit more. In week 1, the Giants didn't really do that all that much. There was a lot of plays where Nabers was in motion, but he was only in the slot for 16 snaps, 33.3% of the offensive reps for the Giants. So I want Nabers to work in that spot, work against some of these undrafted, unproven young corners that are going to be there, and let's put our best guy against their worst guy in the secondary. And let's throw it deep. Let's throw bombs. You turn on the highlight tape for Malik Nabers back when he was a Bayou Bengal at LSU, and you saw slot fade after slot fade after slot fade. And I want to see that this Sunday. Slot fade over here, slot fade over there. They worked that into the playbook a little bit in week 1. We saw Russell Wilson connect with Malik Nabers on that. But a slot fade TD to Malik Nabers this Sunday would be absolutely chills. Dallas is essentially down their top 2 defenders. I understand that there was a trade over 2 weeks ago, but Kenny Clark doesn't fill the void of Micah Parsons. So the Cowboys are now without Micah Parsons, their best pass rusher. They are now without Daron Bland, their best corner. And the Giants are coming into this game almost 100% healthy. Still TBD if Andrew Thomas is going to play. We'll tell you what we're hearing about him coming up around the corner. But what I'm trying to say is this. If Russell Wilson can't put up points against this Dallas Cowboys defense that does not have Daron Bland out there, that's not going to have Micah Parsons, obviously, on the football field, that is a major red flag. And I'll go as far as to say, if Russell Wilson and the Giants can't score an offensive touchdown in the first half, I want to see number 3 on the bench to start the second half, and I want to see Jackson Dart in the football game. Because if you can't score versus this Dallas Cowboys defense, when are you going to be able to score? It's not a good group. Like, you see the names on screen. Nobody's scared of Sam Williams. No one is scared of Dante Fowler, Damone Clark. It's big 2025, and Kenneth Murray is still their starting inside linebacker. Jack Sanborn, not scared. Trevon Diggs, I'm not scared of him either. Donovan Wilson, solid player. Malik Hooker, he's dealing with an injury. Kyer Elam, he's toast. Who are they going to put out there? Reddy Stewart? Like, some of the names sound like a Key and Peele skit on the defensive depth chart for the Dallas Cowboys. Russell Wilson, Brian Dable, and Mike Kafka have to find a way to score points versus this talentless Dallas defense. If they can't, it's going to be a bad week for Big Blue. My question to you is this now. With the updated injuries for Dallas, who are you rolling with? Who's going to win this football game? Is it the Giants? Is it Dallas? Who do you got winning the game on Sunday? We'll go through both injury reports for both teams coming up in a second, as well as talk about that roster move, well, 2 roster moves the Giants have made. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to our proud sponsor of today's show, and that is Chubbies. Shout out to Chubbies for sponsoring today's video. You can go to chubbyshorts.com, use that promo code ChatSports, and get $10 off your order today. The leaves are turning, the temps are dropping, and the weekend air is getting that nice autumn crisp. Fall is here, but just because the weather is changing over doesn't mean you have to pack away the fun. Chubbies is here to make sure your fall wardrobe is ready to rock and roll. Could even be wearing on a slow Sunday morning with soft, stretchy, fall-ready staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. The Chubbies Fall Collection dropped this week, and it's packed with cozy gear that brings the metaphorical and real heat. And later this month, they're launching their new Comfort Collection, featuring the Everywhere Jogger. It's the perfect pant for impromptu naps, weekend errands, and everything in between. We all agree fall should be cozy and not restricting, and Chubbies delivers peak softness without sacrificing an ounce of style. So go ahead, break up with the stiff pants, and embrace the fun side of fall. Whether you're layering up for tailgates, lounging through lazy Sundays, or just leaning fully into fall comfort, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners $10 off your order with the promo code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com. That's code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com. Support the show and show your thighs some respect with Chubbies. Alrighty, some roster moves for the New York Giants. They have gone out and claimed kick returner, punt returner, and wide receiver Xavier Gipson, formerly of the New York Jets. He was waived by the New York Jets earlier this week. The Giants have claimed him off of waivers, and that tells me that they were pretty interested in Gipson as a player. A lot of times you'll see guys clear waivers, then you can go out and sign him in free agency, bring him in on the practice squad. Not this time. The Giants claimed him. He's on the 53-man roster, and they had to make a corresponding roster move. Who is Xavier Gipson? Let's start with this. He was a 2023 undrafted free agent out of Stephen F. Austin. He has appeared in 35 career NFL games with the New York Jets. He's been there over the last 3 years, and he found himself waived by the Jets after he had a critical fumble on special teams that a lot of Jets fans will tell you is the reason that they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's some career stats from a receiver standpoint. Gipson has 27 career grabs, almost 270 yards, just shy of 10 yards per catch, and he does have 1 receiving touchdown. Got most of his receiving work as a rookie in this league, but since then, he has really just transformed into a special teams returner, and he has a lot of volume and work there. 68 career punt returns for Gipson, totaling 604 yards, 8.9 yards per return, 1 punt return touchdown, and he has a long punt return of 65 yards. He's also a kick returner as well, and we'll talk about why that's important, as he has 44 returns for his career, almost 1,200 yards, 26 yards per kick return. Hasn't scored yet, but does have a long return of 45 yards. So that's the good. Here's the bad. Gipson has fumbled 10 times in his NFL career, and he's lost 4 of them. And I have deja vu of watching Eric Gray fumble the football. I have deja vu of Sterling Shepard dropping a punt return. Seeing all of these different guys the Giants have tried out as returners in the Joe Shane era drop the football. So I'm scared of that. Hopefully he's got all his fumbles out and he's ready to roll if the Giants do put him back there. The reason I think they made this move is, one, they knew they were going to be able to make a move because Micah McFadden is going to be placed on IR. But I think another motivation for them to do it was that Wan'Dale Robinson is dealing with a little bit of an injury, and he was used as that second kick returner next to Gunnar Olszewski in Week 1 against the Washington Commanders. He also didn't practice on Wednesday. Dealing with an ankle injury, was back at practice on Thursday, but they're trying to manage that workload, and I think it makes a lot of sense. If you're worried about that injury, you don't want him taking extra unnecessary reps as a kick returner to where he could put himself at further risk of re-injury. So based on the injury to Wan'Dale Robinson, Micah McFadden going to injured reserve, the addition of Gipson makes some sense. And not that geography necessarily matters in this case, but he comes from the Jets. It's right there, and he'll be ready to rock and roll, I would assume, this Sunday. Some more injury news to talk about, and this one goes hand in hand with Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, who has not practiced this week. We told you guys on Wednesday that he is dealing with a calf injury. He did not practice on Thursday, and that leads me to believe he is most likely going to not play on Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. And that's newsworthy. It's noteworthy, newsworthy, because McFadden's out, and you're already razor thin at that inside linebacker spot. You got Bobby Okereke healthy, Darius Moose out, next man up for McFadden, and you got Chris Board. We had to hear Shane Bowen say, well, we're going to have to think about playing Abdul Carter at inside linebacker. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe you should have made some more moves this offseason at the inside linebacker spot so that you weren't one injury away from putting the 3rd overall pick back at inside linebacker. Makes no sense. Here is the injury report for the Giants at Thursday's practice. Limited participants for Raheem Nunez-Roches dealing with a foot. Wan'Dale Robinson, that ankle. New addition to the injury report is Darius Slayton. He's dealing with a groin injury. There was some talk coming out of that game that Slayton didn't look like the old Slayton. Maybe that injury is bothering him more than we understand. And Andrew Thomas, he was back at practice in a limited fashion, did participate in some team drills. So we'll see if he plays this Sunday. I think he'll probably wind up on the injury report as doubtful this week. I am not anticipating that he is going to play. Malik Nabers was back at practice in a full capacity. He's been dealing with a lingering back issue, caused him to be a limited participant on Wednesday. He was back on Thursday, and he'll be ready to rock and roll in the NFC East Showdown on Sunday in Dallas. Shout out to everybody that tuned into today's video. If it made it this far, hit that thumbs up icon. Give me a real one down below. And make sure you are following me on social media at @MarshallGreen_.